In order to be a great athlete, there's a couple of things that just we need in general to help us meet the minimal demands to be a great athlete. We need consistency, we need strength, we need a good support system, and we have to be mentally resilient. A lot of times with athletes that I work with and I see today, they don't have one of those four requirements to even see the full magnitude of what speed and agility training or performance training can do for you in your athletic career, or how it can aid in your athletic success. Athletes don't put time into either the gym, so the off-season work, they are eager to get into the skill portion, so shooting, batting, things like that. But when it gets to the detail portion, like, are you stronger? Can you gain size? Can you gain some sort of routine in order to see the full magnitude of what you're trying to do? That's where you see a lot of athletes drop off. And I think that natural selection runs its course more times than not in these athletes' younger careers than later in life. A lot of people ask, like, oh, why didn't this athlete make it? Or what prevents this athlete from making it versus that, this, that, and the third? And it's very, very simple answer, especially when they're younger, is what is this person doing when they have time? Yeah, you have your measurables like size and all that stuff, but what are they doing in their spare time? If a person comes in the ninth grade at 140, 150 pounds, they're already behind the eight ball. If they finish their sophomore year and they're still 140, 150 pounds, we know they haven't done anything in the off season. And there's very few programs, regardless of how anybody feels personally, that I've seen in high school, especially, and I want to stick there because that's the majority of my population right now. It's very few programs that I've seen that don't work at all at the high school level. So if you're not gaining, you're not losing, you're not getting better from off season to off season to off season, and you're staying as consistent, the same person, it's not going to work. I think back to when I was in high school and I played ball. Right now, like I said, I work with different population, but I'm thinking back to when I was in school, and I went to a large school, and so you didn't really have a choice if you wanted to get playing time to hit the weights, get better each season, because the competition you were facing was fierce, as well as the competition on your team was fierce. But like I said, a lot of times, like here's what I see today is we'll spend time on the field, spend time on the court, spend time in the cages, but then when it comes to like general consistency in the weight room, getting stronger, getting bigger, meeting those basic requirements, or even having a good support system, there is a fall off somewhere in that. And it only hurts the athlete. And every athlete, regardless of what you feel, every athlete feels like this ride lasts forever. And I'm here to tell you, it absolutely does not. A lot of times what you see in high school as well is kids think they're too cool to do a lot of this stuff, or they don't want to do it because, maybe they don't feel like it. And that's normal. But you have to ask yourself the question, do you need makeup to look good? Do conditions have to be favorable for you to show up and be your best self? Or are you able to perform when things aren't going great, when you don't feel your best? And if you're able to do those things, then you are a next level talent 9 times out of 10. Now, there are some guys that'll fall through the crack, or maybe they don't meet those standards for whatever reason. But the best thing you can do is do all that you can do to put yourself in position. And if it doesn't work out, you can sleep with that way easier at night than, hey, it woulda, coulda, shoulda. Trust me. In football, I feel like, hey, I did everything I could. I was good with that. But my baseball career wise, I probably could have tried from high school. I probably could have tried a little bit harder. I could have did a few more things if I wanted to make that thing a reality. Especially in the position that I was in. But those are things that you just have to work on and be very cognizantly aware of. And last thing I'll say, and this is a bonus, is the film don't lie, and your ego is probably your biggest detriment as well. A lot of the best athletes, I ain't gonna say a lot, but the best athletes are usually the best athletes are your most humble athletes. Like, the best athletes in a lot of cases are the ones who want to get better. They're looking for ways to get better. How can I get stronger? How can I get faster? How can I tweak this skill and that skill? And that's all another conversation, because I am gonna have another piece of content talking about coaching and stuff. But those athletes 9 times out of 10 are going to be your best ones, that like truly good athletes, not like the town tells. I'm talking about like these athletes are good. They never let themselves rest on their laurels. And Like your athletes that are average or below average are the ones who listen to the town people. They listen to the crowd. They listen.
You rotten bums! You overpaid winners! My whole thing! You make my butt sting! I detest you! You're all garbage! All of you!
They listen to whoever tell them like they're great, and they have nothing behind them to tell them that they're great. But they act as if they are something that they are not, and eventually reality sets in, and we know the rest of that story. But those that want to be great, there's always room to grow. There's always room to be pushed to a greater level. There's always room to extract everything that you can extract out of that seed, out of that fruit before it goes dry. But you have to be willing to put your best foot forward out there. You have to be willing to do those things. And for a lot of kids, they're just not willing to do the first four things I said, which is have a good support system, get stronger, be consistent, and meet those very basic requirements in order to even be a person that's looked at as one of those guys. And another fun fact, in your town, if people aren't talking about you on your team, then 9 times out of 10, you're not one of those people that are in position to be a next level talent, because your team will recognize it first, your town will recognize it second, and then thirdly, it kind of goes beyond that. And so you have to ask yourself those real questions and be very real and have a real gut check with yourself in order to see, is what I'm saying and what I'm doing in line with what I'm trying to be and where I'm trying to go, or is it all just lip service? And if it is, then that's cool. If it's not, that's cool as well. It ain't for everybody. But one thing I do pride myself on as a coach, as a trainer, mentor, is being real as I can with people. And if you do that, then good things usually happen, or you can get some progress out of that. That doesn't always mean that what you want to happen will happen, but you can get some good progress out of that. But anyway, if you like the content, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, be legendary.